3 days, we've learned in gymnastics one wrong step can be disaster, and one right one, a world title. Infinite measures determine whether a lifetime spent training has been worth it, and if so, there's a lifetime to ponder success. Tonight, the best in their chosen field attempt the apparatus finals. For the women, grace and beauty is required on the floor, an iron will to balance on the beam. The men better bring their wings. The vault, the parallel bars and high bar await them. The latter with an Australian ready for takeoff in the finale to this, the 2005 World Gymnastics Championships.
It's been 3 wonderful days of competition, and tonight's apparatus finals are the perfect way to finish the 2005 World Gymnastics Championships. We've seen the best gymnasts ever assembled in Melbourne, and it's something we won't see again for years and years. Our start today is explosive. The world's top 8 male vaulters, 2 jumps each for 1 gold medal. Then Monette Russo in her 3rd final on the women's beam, and after that, the men's parallel bars. Now, the 4th final is my personal favourite, the women's floor. And we finish with Australia's Damien Istria in the high bar final. Well, our commentators for the big finale are Liz Chetkovich and Sandy Roberts. And guys, from start to finish, this competition has been exhilarating. But day 4 begins with good and bad news.
Joe, we'll give you the bad news first from a British point of view, Liz, and that is that Beth Tweddle is out of the floor apparatus final. That gives us the good news, though, for Australia.
Yes, Monette Russo is replacing her on the floor final, which makes her 3 apparatus finals, 2 chances for medals tonight for her.
Does tiredness become a factor for her? It's been a busy program.
Yes, I think she will be a little bit tired tonight. Beam should be fine, but by the time she gets to floor, she'll be a little bit leg weary, but I think the crowd will lift her.
For a number of reasons, you are very, very excited about the floor exercise final.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing Brazil's Daiane dos Santos. She is the most dynamic, spectacular worker you could ever see, and she's going to feature tonight, and maybe it'll be Brazil male and female floor gold.
Exciting stuff, and there's one Australian we haven't mentioned yet, a gentleman by the name of Damien Istria.
Yes, we're looking forward to seeing him on high bar final tonight. He's a terrific high bar worker, and as you know, anything can go, so maybe he'll also medal.
Joe, it's going to be a wonderful program, so fasten your seatbelt and let's get ready to go.
We're strapped in, thanks Liz and Sandy. Well, as Sandy just mentioned, all is in readiness for the first final. When we return, the world's top 8 male vaulters will be on the runway. So sit back and watch them take off.
Good enough. Good job.
The extreme slow-mo is a great camera to appreciate the stress the men's bodies are on in the vault. This is taken from training a short while ago. You can also appreciate what incredible physical specimens they are. Well, the crowd has been enthralled with the quality of competition for the last 3 days. We can expect more of the same today. We're ready to roll as we rejoin Liz Chetkovich and Sandy Roberts.
Indeed we are, Joe, ready to roll here at Rod Laver Arena and getting away to an explosive start on the vault. And here are the 8 gymnasts who are going to do battle for gold. They get 2 vaults apiece. Those scores are added and then divided for an average. Aiki Sakaguchi from Japan. Lech Blanik is a very interesting gymnast from Poland, looking to become his country's first ever man to win a world title. Anton Golotskov from Russia, Alen Jivan from Romania, Filip Yanev of Bulgaria, Jeffrey Vamas we've seen a lot of this week from the Netherlands, Evgeny Stepanenko from Latvia, and making up the final 8 is Marian Dragulescu of Romania. So to the vault, and of course the difficulty on the vault is everything happens so quickly. If the gymnast loses concentration, well, it can mean disaster.
The vault is great. It's quick, taking less than 15 seconds, spectacular and very dangerous.
Oh, opened out way too early.
It's all about speed, propulsion and height. And when something goes wrong, the consequences can be serious.
That's not what you want to see.
Gymnasts may perform a round off prior to the springboard that sets them up for their vault, or they may approach the vault front on. Look for an explosive takeoff from the springboard, followed by a powerful repulsion from the table to generate the height required to complete the final phase.
His signature vault. Oh,
Hello.
well, is that a statement?
This will include multiple somersaults and twists prior to a landing within the white lines. Scoring is based on the number and combination of saltos or somersaults, often performed in the pike position, and can also include twists. The objective is to land as far as possible from the vault table, in the right direction, within the lines, without moving a muscle.
And we're all set for a start on this, the first apparatus, the men's vault with Aiki Sekiguchi. The gymnasts come straight out. There's no training. That's all completed some 20-25 minutes ago. I think they would prefer to have 30 seconds or so, but it's not to be.
Yes, they have a little bit of a different format for the apparatus finals. The gymnasts warm up on the podium a couple of hours before, and then right before the competition they warm up in a back gym and then come out here and compete virtually cold.
Sekiguchi qualified 7th with a 9.481.
And choosing a vault, which we're seeing a lot of men do now, which is the handspring on front, 1.5, I suppose, from the horse, double twist. 9.9 start value. Front landings are generally more difficult than backward landings to stick. It's a general rule of thumb. So here we go. Here's the handspring. He's got to do 1.5 saltos from his hands while he's combining a double twist. And you can see here he's going to pick up a 10th deduction. 1/10 for 1 foot over the line. 2/10 for 2 feet over the line. And other faults with this particular vault, the lowish landing. Generally quite good 2 steps.
And a score of 9.412 there. We can see his start value, SV on the left, 9.9. Now for the second.
And the same as for the women, of course, the combination of start values can put you into a very, very good position. Situation there for him.
So Sekiguchi's going to set the bar for Leslie Blanik of Poland, who is up next, who qualified first. Incidentally, it was Sapronenko of Latvia who qualified second. This is going to be a very, very tight competition.
Very good body position. As you can see, he's had pretty good extension through his hips. That's the half on. Straight hip line, which is what is important in the layout vaults.
Score of 9.537, so that gives him an average, you can see there on the right, of 9.474. 8 finalists on each apparatus. This is our second, Leslie Blanik. Qualified with a 9.699.
position, and he is the only man in the world currently doing that vault. And in my opinion, it should be worth about a 10.2 start value, and that's what the new code of points next year will give us, the ability to have slightly higher start value. But here we are now, a little bit of an early tuck, and geez, quite a lot off direction.
Yeah.
Which is unusual for a vault which has got no twisting in it. He just launches himself to the right from the board to the horse.
How costly is that for him?
Well, he gets at least 2/10 off for direction. I think probably 2/10 off for direction. And there's the pike, a little bit of an early tuck on the second one, a fairly deep squat, so it might not pay off for him having that high start value. Very, very difficult vault to perform, but picking up quite a lot of execution errors.
Start value, as we said, of 10 and a score of 9.5. He was equal second on this apparatus at the 2002 World Championships, third at the 2000 Olympic Games. He's got enormous experience, and he has one vault to come.
Second vault also has a 10 start value. Sukahara double pike. Oh, that's very good. So what a combination of two vaults he has. And despite the errors, he is pumped.
Forget your 9.5s. We're going further.
Half on, double pike off. I'll tell you what, it's hard enough to do a double tuck, but a double pike is so outstanding in difficulty level. So two unique vaults for Blahnik. Holden's never won a gold medal either at world or Olympic level on this apparatus. Good elevation, directionally fine.
Again, a start value of 10 and a score of 9.587.
It's a very good vault score for finals, because remember, they have to average the vault scores, the two vaulting scores.
That was the average, and he actually scored a 9.675 for that second vault. This is Anton Golitsutskov from Russia, qualified 8th with a 9.474.
Really bringing out the big vaults. On the left there, you can see it says SV10, and it gives a little code, tells the judges which vault is coming up and the start value for that vault. Oh! Well, they're showing us everything. Vaulting is such a spectacular apparatus, especially in finals when we see the huge dynamics pelt down that runway. That's enormously high, half turn out. You've got to get the heels over the head to set it all up, which he does. Split second timing on the horse, of course. See how quickly they repulse the horse. Some areas, of course, the shoulders down a little bit if the judges are wanting to get picky, which they do.
9.537, so that's a very good opening vault. This is his second World Championship. Start value on this vault of a 9.9.
Whoa!
Oh, dear.
An example of his start value is a little bit lower, but he's performed the vault better, so it's a bit of a toss-up what to do sometimes, which way to go. Half on, 1, 2 and a half twist off. As I said before, the front landings are most difficult. They're a blind landing. He looked like he knew exactly where he was. Straight body. By and large, showing very good leg form. Let's see if the legs are together all the way. Not too bad, a little bit of a knee bend as he gets onto the horse. That is going to score very well for that second vault.
Don't forget, it's a big night for Australia with Monet Russo competing later on, Damien Istria competing later on. Huge night. Anton, average of 9.568 after scoring a 9.6 on his second vault.
He's not quite able to catch Blahnik.
Here's Alan Jivan representing Romania. Qualified with a 9.48. That was qualifying 6th.
Oh, now check out the distance on that vault.
He's 8 metres away from the vault.
It looks like 8 metres. It's probably that. I think that mat there is about 6 it's probably 6 metres, I'd say. He's travelled. The mat's about 8 metres. Stretches it.
Tell you what, Liz, I wouldn't like to be buying real estate from you. That's a good 6 metres.
Yeah, that's pretty good, isn't it? He has sacrificed a little bit of height for the distance, of course. Lands just about past the whole judges' table. Hopefully they've got wide-angle lens going here. As you can see, he really does get enormous amount of distance, but a little bit sacrificing the height. Interesting to see how the judges score this. Some small leg form errors and a slight sideways balance, overbalance.
.5 is how they scored it with that start value of 9.9. The second vault, similar starting bet.
Watch the speed here.
That is a stick, and we'll find out how he scores when we return.
Absolutely superb.
And I'm sure you'll agree they're seeing plenty of that today.
You can see gets the half on there, 2.5 twists. So Jivan carrying on in the tradition of the Romanians being superb vaulters. We're yet to see Marian Dragulescu, who is an absolute master on this apparatus as well. And I don't know when I've ever seen such a high standard in a vault final.
Remember, he opened with a 9.5, and he now has an average of 9.575 after a 9.65 for that vault. That puts him in second place. So at the moment, it is Blahnik of Poland in first. Jivan of Romania is in second place, and Golitsutskov of Russia is in third place. Now, Filip Yanov of Bulgaria.
Yanov is particularly aesthetically pleasing on this apparatus. Look at that. And what is so nice about this one is that he sets it up off the vault, delays the twist. It's a complete straight take off the vault from his hands before he actually starts the twisting. Watch here, he pushes it up, waits, does the 2.5 twist. Very good landing. So the gymnasts are showing different parts about the vault that are being done well. We've seen some with exceptionally good distance, some with very good height. This one here is very, very good phasing of the twisting. So the deductions for each of these things, and in the end, they sort of come out a bit even.
Yanov qualified third, which was very good. That start value of 9.9 and an excellent score. He's raising the bar now, a 9.612.
Another start value of 9.9. Once again, oops. He's lost it. Just missed out on the rotation there. So a little bit slow off the horse. It sets it back a bit and runs out of rotation. The rotation is set up from the board to the horse. Insufficient rotation there. You can't really see it happening as he's going over, but you can see the result of it. Hands touched outside, of course, that's a deduction for directional, but the bigger deduction is they will take a fall on that vault. 0.5 for a fall, even if it's only momentary hand support.
Which is going to hurt him after his opening vault scored a 9.612.
Still gets a 9.362 average.
That's his average. In fact, he scored a 9.112 for the vault. So 9.362.
Blahnik is still in top position.
But things are going to warm up with the next three vaulters. Jeffrey Vamas, Evgeny Sepranenko and Marian Dragulescu. This is Vamas.
Oh, big step out. Gymnast has to convert the horizontal speed to vertical lift just the right amount, and he's set his shoulders back off the horse too much and can't control the landing. In itself, the landing errors are a replica of the errors that are created elsewhere in the vault. So if he's over-rotated there, he's made a mistake from board to horse or from the horse itself. Right there, he should have pushed it up a little bit sharper, and he wouldn't have had so much rotation at the end.
So, Liz, are the judges looking at three different aspects? The approach, the actual vault itself, and...
That's correct. So he won't just receive a deduction for the landing. He will receive a deduction for the lack of height from the horse, which resulted in a bit too much rotation.
9.412. Here's his second. This time the other way. But he's just 18 years of age, this boy. He's had a very successful World Cup series, competing in 5 events. He made a total of 13 finals in those. And he was the youngest competitor in the World Cup last year, so he has a mighty future in front of him.
Yeah, trying a handspring double twist forward. So one vault, not enough, too much rotation, and the second vault, not quite enough. So not his best day out, but he'll learn from this, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of him in the future. Look out in Beijing. Only go to score lowly for that one.
Yeah, 9.099 is his average. In fact, he scored an 8.787. Now, we're looking forward to seeing Evgeny Sepranenko. He is due for a first. Second at the 2004 Olympic Games. He's been second twice in World Championships. A lot of silver, very little gold.
Oh, and it's not a goal. Oh, he's on the judges' table, I think, just about. In fact, if I was a vaulting judge, I'd be sitting in the audience. I've seen it happen a few times. Dragulescu at last year's Olympic Games, similar.
Straight into the judges.
Yeah, Paul Harm. It's a regular occurrence. Not to be disrespectful of this athlete, though, but he just doesn't complete the twist properly. He's way out. Essentially tucking from the horse too early, which stops the rotation. As soon as you start tucking, it stops your rotation, or you can see, let's see if we can see it from this angle, see the early tuck, and just doesn't set him up correctly. Probably going to score mid-8s for that.
Well,
oh, no,
they're in a generous mood. That's why I got close to them. 9.087.
Well, it is a 10 start value. To go for the second vault regardless. Not going to catch up with the leaders. We've got 3 sitting on a 9.5, Blahnik, Jivan and Kolotsuskov. Double pike.
Oh.
Struggled today on vaulting. Looks like he's limping a little bit.
Yes, he's not going to add to the bag of silver that he has gained over the years.
They're a tough bunch, these vaulters, if we'll recall. the Olympic Games, Bondarenko opening out very early on just that vault. He actually fractured his back and then went and did a second vault. Of course, landed very awkwardly from that as well and got carried off on a stretcher. So they're a very, very tough bunch, these gymnasts.
Blanik leads at the moment from Jivan and Golitsukov of Russia. And only Dragulescu now can catch those three.
And of all the people who could catch, it will be Dragulescu.
Score of an average of 9.256 for Sapronenko. He scored a 9.425 for his second vault. And here he is, Marian Dragulescu, the 24-year-old from Romania. Second on this apparatus at the last World Championships. A great chance here to go one better.
Master.
Oh, look at the height.
He is just magnificent. And this is going to be very interesting because in the Olympic Games he did vault that same vault but stuck it completely and everyone thought he had the gold medal in the bag, and then he did a little number of landing on the vaulting table, the judges' table again. So he's got to really concentrate here. If he can stand his second vault up, he's got to be pretty close to the gold medal.
And his third gold medal in World Championships on this apparatus. What a feat that would be. Chasing down the great Yuri Keki, who did it 5 times on rings. There's a score of 9.750. He emulates that, and the gold medal is his.
He does it. That's got to be good enough. So he won vault in Ghent in 2001, and you've got to think that this is going to be good enough.
Needs a 9.424 to win.
9.424 for the second vault, obviously, an average.
Correct. Yeah, to overtake Leslie Blanik of Romania. A 9.693 average, and he scored a 9.637, so he's whistled past the 9.424, and he is the gold medalist, Marian Dragulescu of Romania, the 24-year-old, as we said, brilliant on vault, exciting on floor. He's won 2 World Championships on floor and now 2 on vault. He's had a marvellous run since 2000. He's won 10 world and European medals in the last 5 years. It's quite an extraordinary performance. So here we are, the standings, with Dragulescu taking the gold, Blanik the silver, and Alan Jivan the bronze. Golitsukov of Russia was 4th, Sakaguchi 5th, Yana Sapronenko and Jeffrey Vamas finished in 8th place. Well, our own Monette Russo is next up on the beam final, arguably the toughest apparatus in the women's competition. She'll not only have to conquer the beam, she'll also have to impress the judging panel. And the sport, we know, has had its controversy when it comes to judging, but these World Championships have marked a turning point now in how results are achieved.
Video replay is a growing trend in the world of sport, and gymnastics is the latest to adopt video replay to avoid officials making mistakes. It started at these World Championships, and it centres on these handy cams, the type of which you can buy at your local shopping centre. There's one of these on each apparatus, except for the vault, it has two, and they continuously record the action. The vision comes through to a laptop computer. Again, each apparatus has one, and it's here that the two A judges sit. Now, the A judge's role is to determine the start value, in other words, how difficult the routine is. The routines that contain enough difficulty have a start value of 10, and that is what this system is about, checking the start value, nothing more. The other judges who sit around the apparatus are there to rule on the execution of what they see. But back to the video, if the two A judges are not sure if a certain skill was performed, they'll check on their laptop. Now, if there's still confusion, the judge will get onto this phone and contact the supervising judge for that apparatus, and he sits over there. It can take 5 seconds or 5 minutes, but eventually they'll decide the start value, and then the correct score can be determined, and hopefully everyone's happy and there's no controversy.
Mighty performance from Marianne Dragulescu, scoring 9.75. That set up his gold medal. That was his first vault, and then followed it up with a 9.637 to win the gold from Blahnik and Giv.